David started a brand new business from zero, and he wants to get to $20,000 a month in just 6 months. But once we start digging into the plan, we discover a problem that could make that goal nearly impossible. And before the day is over, David may have to walk away from the business that he came here to build. You're trying to launch everywhere at once, you're probably not scaling, you're scattered. And you can waste your entire year building in 5 weak markets instead of 1 strong one. You see, by the end, I'm gonna show you how to choose where to focus and ultimately where to grow.
So a typical chamber has, they have training, they have business training. They have an annual conference. They have ribbon cuttings for new businesses opening. They have member-to-member discount kinds of programs, where members can, it's a form of marketing. Another thing that they do in terms of marketing is you can be in the membership directory, and you can be, you can sponsor things, and that helps you get your name out there among the membership of the chamber. One of the things, training is business training, maybe some leadership training. The Christian chamber will also offer all those things, but the Christian chamber version of that is we're going to train on business, but we're also going to talk about the biblical principles that go right alongside it in your company. So we're going to train on financial management. We're also going to train on stewardship. So we're not ignoring best business practices, but we're combining biblical principles and talking about how you actually integrate that and execute it in your business. When it comes to training, the quality of the training that most chambers provide, in my experience, is somewhat superficial. I mean, it's the entry-level version of things for the most part. The experience with a lot of the training things is not what they expected. They learned a little bit, but then they still had to go home and execute it on their own. And these are not business people. They're people who started a business because of the product or the service, or because they spent 10 years in an industry. They're most business owners are that way. They didn't get into it because they're business geniuses.
So what I hear you saying is the things we're going to be different is it's faith-centered.
Yep.
Basically just the intentionality behind all this is different.
It is.
All right, so I sat down with David. David wants to build a Christ-centered business community. In fact, he has the rights to Arkansas Christian Chamber, the place where entrepreneurs can grow together. His strong mission, and he has the relationships to make it happen. But underneath the excitement was a dangerous problem. David was already thinking about multiple cities before proving the model in one. And I think we worked through this to help him narrow that vision, choose one market, and turn a statewide dream into a plan that he could actually execute. All right, let's walk through it. So let's talk about the downside, just some faults in this, I think.
Sure.
And probably you heard something similar there. So, because right now we're comparing this. Mm-hmm. Why would I join, comparing the Cersei chamber to your chamber? Mm-hmm. And I really think...
But see, I don't think it's an either or.
I get that. But we're still in the same bucket.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Sure.
So once you start comparing, it is, in my mind, for most of these things, actually the Cersei chamber will be more valuable than the Christian chamber. Why? And this is why we don't want to get in a comparison. Right. Well, even if you get 200 people, how many counties are there in Arkansas?
75.
Cool. So there's going to be 2 on average,
right.
Maybe 2 or 3. And that's right. After you've grown to be the largest chapter and everything. So there's not going to be community in theory.
Right.
At least like there is otherwise. Right? Cersei, they get together.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, whatever. And every one of them do, right?
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things that I think we do wrong as entrepreneurs, and most people are not entrepreneurs, they're normal humans, right? Go over to
normal people.
I go over there to someone at Harding, and it's a faculty, like, this sucks. I can't believe X and X did this. What's leadership thinking, right? And I always propose the question first, like, do you think the chamber wants to do superficial training?
No, I don't think it's their goal to do superficial
So what do you
training.
think prevents them from doing high value training?
I think there are a couple of things. Well, there are a couple of things on their side, and then there's some things on the customer side.
But
The customer
but
won't
the
come,
question
right?
is, you're going to do high value training compared to them. So my question is, so like when someone, so I gave Harding an example, when someone's like, they should pay us more, whatever. I'm just giving an example.
Right.
Well, do you think they want to pay you more? Of course they do. Okay, well, what's preventing them? Because is it what's preventing them also going to prevent you, or is this like what is the thing holding them back from high value education?
I think it's a couple of things. One is, and this is just David's opinion, of course. Most chambers are run by chamber people. They're chamber professionals.
Okay.
They have never made a payroll. They've never run a business of any size, and they don't really understand how to do that.
Okay.
Now, they know they need to offer this stuff because that's what their members
Give
want.
me an example of a chamber that you're comparing to, like Northwest Arkansas, Searcy, Little Rock. It's Little Rock chamber. I mean, they got like 40 employees, right?
Yeah.
They're running payroll. They're running all of the business. I mean, they're running a business.
Well, they're running it like at that scale. Yeah, they're running it like a business.
Okay.
But you're right about that. But beyond about maybe 10 chambers of commerce in the state.
Okay.
The rest of them are nowhere close. I mean, they're a distant second. You got Conway, Bentonville, Rogers, maybe Fort Smith, Little Rock, North Little Rock. Much beyond that, they're all pretty small.
All right, watch what happens when David starts weighing multiple cities. If you are tempted to expand before one market, is like really, really working, you may be just creating several fragile businesses instead of one really strong one. So the reason I ask this, right, because a part of you and I, we're creating this differentiator, right? And when we talk about something, once someone is like, you need to prove to me, now they're going to kind of in their mind fight everything you say. And if we say something that's going to prove their fight, like we just want to be very like, this is where we're hunting down this offer.
You're right about that.
So keep in mind, what most chamber, like even Searcy, a small chamber, there's a lot smaller.
Yeah, but Searcy's a really well-run chamber and has been for a long time. Or it was at least when I was.
But even most businesses in the world, like what percentage of businesses have less than 3 employees?
A bunch.
Okay.
Very high percentage.
Businesses have less than 3 employees?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I said it wrong in my head. It's a very high percentage that have less, right? So
yes.
The other thing here is like, what do people really want in and I'm skipping through some questions here because we're going to come back to them all. But like, what do people really want from community? Like entrepreneurs, we get a little bit of ego. I work with entrepreneurs every single day. They're not like you, right? Like you're in your second career. You've had a lot of success. You've been taught you're wrong way more than you're right. You're open to feedback. Like you're not the normal 30 and under entrepreneur.
I know.
We're a little arrogant.
I work with a lot of them.
We're a lot arrogant, right? Do we really want to be taught by someone else? Is that what we're really paying money for? I know we say we are, but what do they really want in that group? And we're going to come back to this because I'm going to go to my next question because I want you to see my train of thought here. Because the next question is this statement you said right here, trying to sell, like, right? They join because they're trying to sell people into their business. I would say that's 100% true, right? Like most people, when they join a chamber or an association, are doing it with the intention of either I'm trying to learn, I really believe I can learn, or I can believe I can sell.
Sure. Automatic access to potential customers and education.
That's right. Now, the bigger thing is the sales thing. Now, you mentioned it kind of as a negative side of that, right? Which I understand.
Well, it's not necessarily, I was just trying to differentiate between community and networking. That's what I was trying to differentiate between.
Gotcha.
There
Okay.
are lots of networking events where they just, they throw a bunch of people together in a room,
Yeah.
and that's not a community building
Yeah.
thing. That's all
Yeah.
I was trying to say. It's a transactional
Uh-huh.
relationship. But everybody knows that it is, and that's what they're doing, right? I mean, they're all
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong
Community
with
is
it.
an
It's not
emotion.
a negative thing. It's just if you're looking for something more meaningful than that transactional engagement, you're not going to find it in a typical networking event
I'm not smart
because
enough to know all the differentiators between the words, but
that's a
like networking is like it's a strategy,
oh
and
sure,
community is what happens once you realize, like once you find relation, right?
right.
And so there's a difference again between people wanting to come in and like I'm going to join yours and what
Mm-hmm.
actually happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you said community. Are people wanting community in the text that you're talking about? So my question is, your audience, which one are they? Are they looking for another community?
The only data I have on that is anecdotal from business owners that I've talked to over the years that there is that isolation factor. We all know that. It's easy to get isolated as a business owner. Who you going to talk to, right? It's they don't have they haven't figured out how to create their own club, so to speak, of folks that they can share things with and admit they don't know what they're doing sometimes, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you got to have that.
Right.
I think they are looking for something that helps them with those kinds of outlets and engagements. They do want more of that. At least that's what I see. I see them wanting a lot more of that. They also complain about, as I said previously, they go to all these training things. They don't really understand how to navigate the ecosystem and all this free training that they can get. They don't understand how to navigate it, which one to go to first, da 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 da. And then they still go home and they got those 3 employees and they can't figure out how to execute that in
Yeah.
their business. So I think those are all frustrations for them. They feel isolated. They know they don't know what they're doing, but they're willing to do the work, but they just, you know, don't know what to do next kind of thing. So there's that element of it. And I think them understanding that they're not the only ones feeling like that and that there is some actually good qualified help out there to help you get through some of this stuff. And by the way, other people in your group will help you solve some of these things that you are struggling with. It's not that I don't have to have a bunch of training classes in financial management. There's 3 people in the group who are business owners who had the same issues and they figured it out, and they'll help you to the extent they can, right? So I think there is a need for that. Is it enough of a need to create, to make an organization like this sustainable? I don't know. I don't have the data. And this is a little different for me
Working at NASA.
Certainly different than that. But this is very different than either working at NASA or any other business thing I've ever done, because my tendency is to be part of my natural gift is to be analytical about things.
Yeah.
And so I want to gather as much data as I can, given the time available. I want to sort through it. I want to make sure we're going down the right path. I want to listen to what the data tells me and,
Yeah.
solve the problem that way. But this is a little different because I feel like this is just something I'm supposed to try, and we'll see how it goes.
We're going to get clarity on this, just so you know.
Oh no,
But we gotta. So I understand the thought process behind. We don't want salesy people in our group. Like, we're not trying to attract salesy folks, but we have to.
they're going to be there though. I mean, you can't.
Well, and also yes, but
But networking. What I'm saying is networking. Networking's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's.
networking is phase one, though, of
It
community.
is. It is. You're exactly right.
It's phase one.
It's part of a process that happens over time, and it starts out like that.
Yeah.
And then you begin to build some bonds. You begin to talk to people. Then relationships start to be built. So there's nothing wrong with networking. I'm just saying that a lot of times, many of the chamber things that I've been involved in that were networking events there wasn't a whole lot of effort from the chamber side to move those farther down the process of creating relationships in a community.
Well, do you think the chamber just doesn't care about that entrepreneur?
No, I think they care about them.
And most of those, I would say that they're willing to do anything they can to serve an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And so the next question would be, well, why don't they? Like, why don't they? And what part of that they don't is going to enable you? No, I am going to do it. They just didn't do it.
I think, well, again, my observation, I think to some degree, some of the chambers are run by folks who really don't know exactly what to do. They in general, they know they need to provide training on HR and, management and leadership and financial management and hiring people. And they know that they need to do that. They don't really know what depth it needs to go to. They don't understand that. So they feel comfortable and satisfied checking the box that they have provided that when they provide some of the training that they provide. They don't understand the difference between 101, 102, 103, and 105. Right. They do the front end. Now, why do they only do the front end? Some of it is maybe related to the business model because you're charging people a few $100 a year.
Yeah.
And you're providing, okay, so there's not a lot of resources to provide high quality training. So I get that. That's part of it. It's also part of it, I think, that business owners are busy. They're really, really busy. Now, are they doing the right things with their time? Mostly no, but they're really busy. And so they don't engage.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody in a chamber that doesn't think what they're doing is helpful.
Right.
And doesn't understand why we don't have more people come to these events, these training events.
That's
I
right.
don't understand why we do all this great. We market it well, we promote it, we make it easy, we offer it for free, we feed people when they come, we do all that stuff, and 12 folks show up.
So it leads back to, so there's either two things there. Is either one, the training is not good, and therefore people don't show up, or people show up for something different. We got to figure this part out. Now, based on all this stuff, right? Like, I work with a lot of businesses that they get to it and they're like, there is no difference.
Right, sure.
But I want to grow. Okay, cool. I can work with that. Bob's Roofing, because everyone is like, you got to differentiate yourself. And I think it's not true. There's 7 roofing companies in town. They're all identical.
Right.
Like, I could argue the owner is different of each one. So therefore the culture is a little different. Maybe but ultimately, when it comes to Miss Susie, who heard from Bob and to Roy, even if Roy was crazy, when he was doing sales, he was very clean and put together, right? Like, ultimately, there's just not a lot of difference here. I can work with that, but we got to really understand, or else we'll spend the 3 hours trying to sell how we're different.
Right.
When the other person is like, wait, how are you?
Right.
How are you different? So I just want us and I just want to just continue to think through this. And then I'm even like faith first. So I'll give you an example of this. The leader, good friend of mine, who used to run high capacity leadership, which is John Maxwell's inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll compare it to this, right? It's people come together, we learn, grow, teach, da-da-da-da. He decided John is what I would call faith adjacent. So his premise is, and I'm speaking his words, not mine, is that Jesus served the physical needs of people first in order to have the opportunity to show them the gospel, the kingdom, and truth, right? So he healed the blind,
Right.
and he, raised the dead, and he, XYZ, right? So his whole methodology, if you look at Maxwell, it's leadership. It's how we grow. Let me help you. It's not like, let me help you grow the Jesus way. Make sense? Right? And his deal is, let me get you in, let me serve you, and then through serving, I can have a devotional every night. He's baptized over 1 million people. Now, the general manager of High Capacity, the CEO, just exited to start what I would call a faith-forward business model. It's exactly the same. It's just like, hey, this is for Christians, right? There's a difference, right? Now, my question is which one do people want?
Right.
Now, there's room for both.
Sure.
And if I was arguing chat, I would actually say both of our inner circles are identical. We have different networks, we have different capabilities, we have different whatever. Ultimately, we're serving the exact same folks. One of them is we're for Christians. If you're not a Christian, this probably isn't the right thing for you. This one is, it's also to create, it's just which one do you want, right?
Right.
Because it affects, again, our marketing and our pitch down the road.
Right.
If I was like, hey, David, can you send me another chamber and I'll pay you. I'll give you $1,000 to do it. Like, that might get you excited. Or if I said 50 or $100, whatever, right?
Right.
Might get you excited, but it's not the reason you do it or not.
No.
Like, you're just going to do it because you like me
I
or don't like me.
Right.
Or you wouldn't do it, right?
Right.
And people that truly want to be a part of the community, you can't pay them enough. Or they're not the right folks. And there's not the right folks. They're not going to be like, oh, $100. Oh, now I'm in. Like, let me go do it. You know what I mean? It's just a distraction and potentially, in certain cases, offensive to certain levels of folks, right?
It could be, yes.
All right, listen closely here. We finally choose one market and one target. A lot of entrepreneurs, they keep every option open because it feels safe. Usually, it just keeps them from committing long enough to win. So the switch of that of I have this big vision. I want to tell you what this looks like 5 years from now. And here's my plan to get there. And you're a part of stage one of that plan. That's good. That's the money for them. You know what I mean? So, okay.
It's the movement part of it, right? Making it a movement and not just joining one more 100%, organization.
Right? The cool thing is it gets me back to those fees. So I think we're a member of like 15 chambers in Arkansas, right? Like, I'm a member, not because of community. I couldn't care. Like,
right.
It's not that I don't care about people. It's just that I just.
Well, you can't possibly.
I can't possibly do it, right?
Be very engaged in any of it.
I can't. Now, most of those chamber leaders call me anytime they need someone. Like, they call me like, hey, we have a gap. We don't have a sponsor for this. Can you help? And I help, right? Because for me, there's a business strategy in serving the community because maybe they can serve me when I sell an event or something like this, right? So it goes both ways, right? But if they're looking for a community, I'm not their guy. Now, I'm a part of their growth because the $10,000 a year I give to Cersei Chamber helps fund some of these other things, which gets me excited, right? Like, because I do love their mission. I love Tara. I love, I think they're just so great with so many limited resources. And what you said is true. Like, I teach at Chambers quite often. I was going to do one today and instead it's moved to next week, right? Like, that is the same quality of deal that I get paid $10,000 to go speak.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's the same. So I don't know, based on my experience, and I've been to a few chambers, like, I think the quality is pretty daggum good for what they're in, but still people don't show up.
Right.
Now, one of two things is true. Either one, you're right, quality sucks, so therefore nobody goes. Or two, quality's good, but people just don't want to be taught.
Right.
So, like, I think there's this, like, in terms of, like, size of business, right? It's interesting because, like, once you get to a certain level of business, and you want to learn, let's just assume everybody, if I asked anybody, they're going to say they want to learn or more knowledge. But there comes this point where it's like, I'm not looking at the chamber and association. Like, I'm going to Maxwell certification.
Right.
I'm going to ESO. I'm going to Vistage. I'm going to,
Right.
I'm going to spend a lot more money to solve my big problem. Right. And then there's this like, so really it's like, it is this like differentiator cap that like these guys are more either they're doing it to sell in that group or they're truly doing it to serve that group, not the other way around. Your guys, the 15 guys, I wonder if they're in this group and the positioning that we did was how do I serve you guys when how do you guys serve these guys? And the difference between so a roofer, for example, the difference between him paying $20,000 for a coaching program and $500 for your coaching program, that 15 grand sounds like, wow, that's 20x. No, it's one roof. It's one roof a year is the difference.
Right.
And so again, I kind of go back to this idea of training and business development is number one. Is that really your number one? I'm not arguing that it's not. I'm going to come back to, I'm going to keep circling this fence, but I want to see where we get.
You're thinking maybe it is more community than actual providing something more tangible, like training. I just know that that's needed, but just because I know that doesn't mean our members know that. It's about how they perceive what they perceive to be valuable. And if, that is part of the challenge, JC, they only understand one side of the equation. They don't, they just see that $1,000 or whatever that amount is that it's going to cost you to do a session with them. They're trying to do their own accounting in QuickBooks because they want to save $300 a month. And I'm going, dude.
Yeah, they're crazy.
So
I had a
because
buddy.
they don't understand the value of having somebody help them with that and protect their tax liability.
Yeah. And you have an advantage on this stuff, right? Because of your career, right? A lot of these guys are serial entrepreneurs. It's kind of all they've known, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of cases. And I actually think all of this is that it's actually the premise here. I need to work on the wording so forgive me on this, but it's about fostering a Christ-centered business ecosystem. It's about fostering a Christ-centered. This is not for Christian entrepreneurs, and so when you top above that gap, it's like you're helping me foster this ecosystem for the next year, for the business owners, right? And so I wonder, and the second thing that's really interesting, and I haven't seen a chamber position it like this, but for you, I think we should, is that even in my mastermind, so our mastermind, it's $25,000 a year to be a part of it, or $2,500 a month, right? Either one. We do the same. We have 4 virtual trainings. Dr. Chapman does one of ours. John Maxwell does one. This is legit stuff. This is the best of the best of the best. Now, what's other interesting though, is one of the things that we started doing in ours is we started saying, hey, these virtuals, they're really not for you. You're way above this. This is for your team. Because if you own the roofing company and you're like, hey, Bob, head of sales, you got to be on this call every month because there's a sales call happening in this community every month. I want you on it. That's different because salespeople, employees are used to following the rules, right? Like if I'm supposed to show up, I show up, right? Like even within my organization, if there's a video training, like even if it's for me, if it's for Ashel, oh, we're going to utilize this. And so I wonder if the training, should it be positioned less about the owner and more about the organization? In fact, First Security Bank, probably a member of every chamber in the state of Arkansas. Nathan doesn't go to a single one of them within reason. Now, if there's a special one, maybe he does, and he's great. He's an amazing member of the community. But his team members go to all of them. Almost every ribbon cutting, almost every deal, almost every, right? Because the position to them isn't, Nathan, you should come because I'm going to teach you how to grow your business. Because the deal is that we're going to foster this community for your team to come in and learn, grow, and connect.
The Vistage does this, C12 does it. A lot of these peer group training models do this. They sort of target the owner initially, but then they have, and for all your vice presidents, we've got this other group. So it's a great way to do it, right? Because not just the owner is learning these principles, but the people that he or she is going to get to execute those things inside the business. They're getting the same thing. It's just different. It's a different cadence. Maybe it's a little less expensive. It's whatever. I mean, it's differentiated from the senior folks, but yeah, they do that, and they do a fair amount of that like that.
And which one do you think model runs better? I mean, if we're just, we're the dumb kid in high school, so we just cheat off other people. Which one are we cheating off of? The chamber model, this stitch model?
Oh no, it'd be
So I like this because it's changing. I hope it's going to change the framework of how we're positioning this. Because if you said we're an organization that's trying to foster Christian values versus we're a networking group for Christian entrepreneurs, right. I don't want to be I'm not going to be in a networking group with Christian entrepreneurs, and I'm going to assume that my head of sales or my sales guy or my head of operations or my team member they're not entrepreneurs. Why would they be in the group?
Right.
I just exit out that, right? And so not by the name of the company, but by the positioning of our value.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
And by the way, when we leave here, I like leaving with this is the game plan.
Oh yeah.
I can always change the game plan.
Sure. I'm same way.
But I don't like leaving. I don't like being in a situation where it's I don't know what I want to do. I would rather, I always know what I want to do. I just may change it. But that's just a mental thing for me, that I'm always, I think our strategy should be, we are going to grow because we can. In fact, if we get our positioning right, what do you think our conversion rate will be? Out of the 15 people you met with, how many of those do you think will join?
I think 3 to 5.
3 to 5 out of 15?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 20 to 30%?
Yeah, but that's a
curated group.
It was a curated group.
Okay.
Right.
Pay attention here. I asked David to explain what he's building. Guys, if you're struggling to describe your offer without stopping, backtracking, or listing features, your customers will probably get confused as well. I do believe that you're right in the sense that we've got to have a launch period. Now, that doesn't mean that one of your friends in Northwest Arkansas, I believe in this so much, I still want to sponsor, even though I know you're starting Little Rock.
Right.
JC sponsors in Little Rock. I mean, you can have an event very quickly. I mean,
well, sure.
if our goal is we want to do it at the Capitol, and we want 50 plus people there.
Okay.
All right. So step one is we're going to call the Capitol.
Right.
And say, hey, here's what we're doing.
Right.
I heard through a friend of mine, from another friend, that y'all kind of worked with a couple of these. And I'm interested in y'all being a part of my group. And I can get you a phone number for someone on that. But we're going to call, right? So Saturday is going to, the smaller the business, so small business owners are, I can't get away from work.
Right.
Let's just say you did the 15th
of
October. You'll have to check out all these dates, by the way. I have no idea.
Yeah, 15th of October is a Thursday.
October 15th. All right. So now there's 2 strategies here that I can think of right now. I'm verbally processing with you.
Mm-hmm.
One is you're going to have an event. You're going to give a reason for them to come. We're going to get a speaker. We're going to I want to add value. The other one is hey, I have this idea and I want you to come to this lunch. I'll provide lunch. I just want you to come hear me out. It's kind of like the old timeshare, deal, right? It's just a reality, Now, the deeper your question, the deeper your connections, the less you need to do.
Right.
John Maxwell calls, he can be like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. I need you to hold my hand.
Right,
You're like, all right, let's think about it, right? If, the worse the relationships, the more you got to give to take, right? So what do you feel like with your connections and network in Arkansas that you need to do this? Now, it doesn't have to be someone crazy, but do you want to do an hour-long thing, a 2-hour thing, 3-hour thing?
I'd say an hour. I mean, if we do it around lunch or something like that.
Who's the most influential person in
Mm.
Little Rock or the state of Arkansas that you know?
Here's something. I met a couple of weeks ago with the head of faith-based initiatives in the Arkansas governor's office. There's actually an office of faith-based initiatives. The current governor started it. It really does a lot of work with like serving the underserved, and works through churches and stuff like that. It's kind of organized in churches and communities, but there may be somebody in the
Governor could be. I mean,
could be. Yeah. You never know about stuff like that. She does a lot of
if
things.
it's in the Capitol, it's a block away.
Right. That's right.
Now, I would say that you should get 100 people to that room because you can.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I would be focusing on one to many. So
Right.
every Wednesday, you should have a little lunch.
Right, right.
And talk to people and then get the support. Like, hey, I'm gonna have this little event. It's gonna be 2 hours. Joe Klein's gonna be there. Greg Cole's gonna be there. My buddy JC's gonna be there. Like, could you come to that?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna launch it at that event. But if you come, can you bring 2 people? Right.
Yeah.
So here's the strategy. All we need is date, which we have one now, October 15th, right? And we need a location.
Yeah.
Now, if this location's like, I can't do it on the 15th, but I can do it here.
Right. Sure.
Move it.
Right.
I want to have a maximum of 100. I want to have a minimum max. I want to be able to fit 100 people in that room.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So location, date, speakers, right? Those are kind of the 3 things that you're working
Mhm,
with there,
mhm.
right? Now, today, you can already be working on this.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Tomorrow, we could be working on location.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You may do this first, or you may do this first, and then you do this. But for now, we're going with the 15th. Once we get this done, this is phase 1, step number 1. Step number 2 is how do we fill the room? I want you to create my hot list strategy for this.
Okay.
Are you using a CRM right now?
No.
Okay. So you're going to create use Excel or Google Sheets?
Excel.
Okay. So you're going to create a new Excel sheet.
Right.
And you're going to title it Hot List.
Yeah.
I want you to have different columns. So column number 1 is name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Column number 2 is date added, because you're in the business now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always ask myself, if I hired, because your main job, your number 1 job is sales right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I hired another guy and put him in charge of sales, and he did what you did, if he did what you're doing every day,
Mm-hmm.
would you fire him or keep him?
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
And so we're gonna systemize a little bit more,
Sure,
so that
sure.
when we hire that person, you're gonna be like, this is exactly what to do,
Right.
so to speak, right?
Right.
If you're serious about I want this to go to 300, we're gonna have to go. We're
Oh,
gonna have to
yeah.
do like no one else, so we can do like no one else, right?
Sure.
So name, date added, okay, and then we'll put phone number, and then we'll put email.
Mm-hmm.
These are common, right? Now the next one is more important, which is next touch point.
Right.
This is where people miss. They don't put that, right? So
Mhm.
every time you're going to have this, right? And so you're going to
Mhm.
bob, da-da-da-da-da, and then you're going to say next touch point.
Yeah.
Now,
Next.
a lot of times people think, oh, this is a sales list. No, this is a hot list, a hot relational
Right.
list,
Right.
okay? So the goal here is that I want you, next touch point, and the last thing is notes.
Mm-hmm.
And the format of this would be 8:17 dash blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then you're going to come in and you're going to put 8:20, blah, 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 blah. It's all in one cell. It's not different cells. It's one cell
Okay.
that you can just click in. You can see them all, but it's going to be as simple as possible.
Okay.
Now, the key here with this strategy, what I want you to do from now until October 1st is really simple, but it's also really hard. But if you do it, we have a likelihood, which would be stupid nuts, of selling out this 100 people before you even
Right.
and then it gets more exciting because we're
Right.
going to be calling capital and be like, can I fit 150?
Right.
And when I tell people when I tell people this, the frustrating thing with me is that the recipe is there, but just people just don't. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
you
it's
gotta
like
execute. I know.
it's like if you eat 1,500 calories and you burn 2,000, I swear you'll lose body fat. Like it's not like it works.
It's just math, man.
You don't need complicated software to start selling. You need names, you need contact dates, you need next steps, a follow-up date you can actually honor, a simple spreadsheet. That's what I use. A simple spreadsheet used every day beats an expensive system that nobody logs into.
Do
The
math.
question is just, do you want it? All right, cool.
Right.
So here's the deal.
I got it.
Every single day, our goal is you're just going to add 5 people to this list. The goal is that they're as hot as can be. They're
Okay,
like my
right.
best friend George
Right.
that runs a roofing company that's got more money than knows what he does with, and
Right.
every Christian thing he can think of, he invests in, right? Like that's hot.
Right. Right.
Cold is your LinkedIn
My
list that I have
LinkedIn
no
list.
idea.
Right. I
My
didn't know
goal
anything.
is here. My minimum is here,
Right.
right here. Like I have
Right.
to get 5 every day.
Right.
Now you're going to put the name with the date ad, because this is where I clarify, and I'm going to log in and look at your list one day, David, and I'm going to see like, dude, you haven't been doing it. And
Right.
you're over here
I
sad
know.
because you're not going to get 50.
Right.
All right. And then you put their phone number and their email, right? Next touch point, like this is the key. I always tell my sales team, I don't care if your follow-up is next year, next month, next quarter, like unless they say, do not call me again,
Right.
there better be a next touch point
Right.
with everyone, right?
Right.
Now, does this touch point mean you're selling them? It couldn't be, it might not be.
Right.
It may be that your cousin Jared, you don't want to be, hey, Jared, I'm doing a dinner. I need you to come. Maybe, hey, Jared, how's it going? Oh, it's going good. Cool. How's the family?
Right.
Great.
Right.
And then you put like 3 days later to follow up again.
Right.
Hey, man, I was thinking about you again. We chatted
Oh,
the
I
other day,
know.
like da
Yeah,
da da,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Does it make
yeah,
sense?
yeah.
That's why it's called a relational hot list and not a sales hot list.
Gotcha.
All right, watch how simple the execution becomes once we put outreach and follow-up on the calendar. If leads are sitting inside your memory or your inbox, you're almost certainly losing out on opportunities. This is the new version of sales back. We sell by, now here's the deal.
Right.
It's a numbers game. How many days do we have?
So we got 60 days.
So 60 days. So here's the deal on this. That's 300 people. Now I might encourage you. I just don't know where you're at with this. If you're committed level 10 or committed level 5, if it was, because you know a lot of people, I might tell you that you really should be doing 10 a day, because this is literally everything you're doing is you're finding 10 a day.
Mhm.
Well, now that's 600. Well, out of the 600 people, by the way, every time you talk to someone, hey, do
Right.
you know someone else that might
You
be
know
worth
somebody-
doing?
I know.
They're going to give you 2, and they're going to give you 3,
Right,
right? Like 5 in the beginning of the day is going to turn into 10 by the end, as long
Right.
as you position it right? And you, this is a nonprofit, whether it is, right?
is.
It's a nonprofit, right? So like this is, because your mission here is you're trying to foster this Christ-centered growth. All these business owners are just chasing money, and they're lost, and their marriages are, your pitch is very similar to mine, actually. Like with
Right.
Scale Stability, like, dude, we have the highest divorce rate. We have the highest depression rate. We have the highest suicide rate. It's not good for entrepreneurs because they're not Christ-centered.
Right.
And I want you to help me create and foster
And that's
this.
the problem I have to solve, right? Or we
Yeah,
have
that's
to
the
solve.
problem we're solving.
Right.
And man, I don't have a super clear path on how we're going to get there. It starts with us learning together and training together, because it's just different, right? Like it's different learning mathematics 101 at University of Arkansas than it is mathematics 101 at Harding University.
Mhm.
It's just different. So I might even tell you, let's go for 10. Let's go for 10. Now you say there's 60 days, but there's Sunday and Saturday. So I don't know how you feel about that, but like we got this, right? What I used to do when we first started Hite, this is what I did. This is what I tell people. Like we grew to 8 figures in 4 years because of this and only this.
Mhm.
And what I would do is my goal was I had to talk to 3 entrepreneurs every day. Give me the same 3 every day, but I had to talk to 3 every day. And if I didn't get them by Friday, I had to do Saturday until I got my
Right,
15 for that
right,
week, right?
right.
Because I knew that if I talked to 60 entrepreneurs a month, there's no way one of them didn't need marketing.
Right.
There's just no way. It's
Well,
impossible.
They all needed it. The question was,
Boom.
were
There
they
you
gonna
go.
accept
Right?
it?
It was like, I'm an ugly guy and I just need to ask out a bunch of girls. One, even if it's pity, well, they're going to say yes. Okay, cool. So this fill the room. This is your strategy here.
Yeah.
From a sales standpoint, but we're not done yet, because I think you're on Facebook.
personally, yes.
Yeah. I don't get, the business is irrelevant on Facebook.
Okay.
Because people are going to follow you. not the business.
Right.
They just are.
Oh,
Like there's tons of associates, but we just got done talking about this, right? The difference between the chamber and this isn't any of this, because I know a lot of chambers that the person who runs it is faith-centered and they kind of have the angle on all this. I know a lot of people that care and they give great training, they get all this stuff, right? The differentiator is you. At least in the beginning it is.
Yeah, it has to be.
90% of the people are going to sign up because they believe that you can pull this off. Okay, so here's the second thing we're going to do. I'm going to make it easier than I do some folks, right? All right, this is how I approach David with adding more benefits. If you keep just piling on extras onto your offer and make it feel more valuable, one of those extras may eventually be the reason a customer cancels. All right, we're gonna have 4 things I want you to do on Facebook every single day.
Okay.
Every single day.
Okay.
All right, number 1 is I want you to add 10 friends on Facebook.
Okay. Jesus. Okay. That's easy.
You got a list of 4,000 people.
I know.
Just search names and add them.
I know.
Don't think about it. Don't overthink this. Unless you see someone with like a hatchet or like a weird symbol in their name or like whatever, just add 10 friends. In fact, Facebook makes it easier. If you go to the deal and do a search, it just says,
I've got hundreds of requests that I haven't even.
We're going to accept 10 of them.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I understand.
And so, and the reason, but they need to be they need to be business owners.
Right. And they need to be in Arkansas.
And in Arkansas, no, they need to be in Little Rock.
Well, you need to be in Little Rock. Right.
So you're going to add 10. All right, the second thing, I'm going to start from the easiest and go harder, right? The second thing, so that's number 1. The second thing is I want you to comment. There's prep work I'll show you about here in a second, but comment on 20 posts. Again, don't overthink this.
Right.
I better see you commenting on at least one of my posts every day. Just great job, JC. That's awesome.
Okay.
Way to go. Hey, have you considered this? You're an idiot. I don't care. Because what happens when someone comments on your post? What do you do?
Well, I go see who it is.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you go see who it is, you're seeing what they post and what they're doing.
Right.
Which leads me to number 3. Every single day, I want you to post 3 times a day.
Okay. Just on Facebook.
Just on Facebook. I don't really care about the other platforms.
Well, I do. I use Buffer to do. Well, I can use Buffer to do that.
LinkedIn is great as well. Like, do them all.
Right.
But
I can do them all at one time. I mean,
that's right. That's fine. Yeah. Do LinkedIn. Do all of them. Threads. Do it all. You're way ahead of everything. So you're going to post 3 times. 75% of this, well, 66 would be an easier number than 75 of 3. But 2 to 3 posts are going to be more about you.
Okay.
It could be your family. It could be your life. It could be your faith. It could be because why? Because people follow you.
Right.
We already said this. There's hundreds of communities in Arkansas.
Right.
That's not the differentiator. It's you.
Yeah.
That's what's going to start. Now, eventually, the hope is the community runs itself, and I join because Sarah's joining, and she's cute, and I want to be in that faith-based, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's why people go to church these days. It's because
Yeah, I know.
And so,
I know.
All right, so
pick the biggest church with the most members. That's the one.
We're going to add, we're going to comment.
We don't care what they say.
And we're going to post.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now, there is some prep work I need you to do first, and it really is around 2 things. Number 1, your banner needs to talk, and it needs to say, and my team can help with this, right? But Arkansas Christian Chamber of Commerce launching October.
Okay.
Something like that, and then there needs to be a, title, like when in the content, like the banner is going to be simple, launching October 1st. And then it was like, hey, we're launching this master. If you have any questions, DM me, whatever, right? The second thing is that I want you to make a post that's also doing this. Well, you're going to post like once a day, once every other day, you're going to post about the launch. Hey, having a dinner, Arkansas, if you're a Christian entrepreneur, message me, And I want you to pin at the top. You can actually like do the 3 dots on a post and pin it to the top of your profile.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to just take the best one. This is your prep work. It make sense?
Okay. Well, I'll do a little research on that.
It's not hard. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So if you add 10 friends, a lot of them, they'll go here.
Right.
If you comment, a lot of them will go here.
Mm-hmm.
And then they see you post, right? Facebook algorithm is really cool in the sense that you may think in your mind, well, most people, when they say they don't post because of really one reason. or two. One of them is I don't feel like anybody cares what I have to say, or two, I'm ashamed and think people will make fun of me for what I have to say.
Oh,
Normally, it's one of those two things.
okay.
It's probably not you, but most of the time, it's.
I don't think anybody cares what I'm having for dinner. I mean, I don't care.
Be surprised. I get more comments on dinner and food. I mean, it's just it's mind-boggling.
That's
It
just
just is
me.
what it is.
I know it is what it is.
But my point here is that Facebook is so cool, because if someone doesn't care what you have to say, well, when they're scrolling through Facebook and they don't care what you have to say, what do? They just keep scrolling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what does Facebook do if they show you things that don't catch your attention?
Quit putting them there.
They
Right?
stop posting.
Right.
That's right. And if someone does care what you say, then they stop. Well, then what does Facebook do? Well, They must like that. I want to show them more. So it's perfect, right? So they may like the picture of you and your wife on a cool adventure, and you're like, just da-da-da-da-da. Well, then when you post that business post later, they're going to see that more likely.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So if we do this right here, because this all leads back to this, because guess what? When someone comments on yours or replies to your comment or adds you on Facebook, where do they go? Into your hot list.
Right.
Hey, what are you doing? Oh, that's awesome. What have you been working on?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what are you working on, David? Oh, I'm my big thing right now after leaving NASA and doing all these crazy cool things. My big deal right now is I'm launching the new Christian chamber for the state of Arkansas. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And just wait. And they'll ask, really, what are you doing?
You're
like,
right.
I'm actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, now that I think about it, you might be a perfect fit for this thing. Like, would you be able to jump on a call later? I'd love to get your opinion on like what it might look like, and maybe invite you. We're gonna have a lunch. Right. Now you could charge for this, or you may not, like depending on what you want to do for the lunch, for the lunch 3-hour deal. I wouldn't charge for it because I think we could find you a sponsor that'll pay for the dinner.
Right.
Okay. If you do this, you will have a room of 50. I think you should have a room closer to 100.
Okay.
If you have that room of 50 to 100, I feel like you should be able to close 33 or more % of that room because it's a curated room.
Right.
Expansion does not fix a weak model. It multiplies it. Prove that you can attract, convert, and retain customers in one market, in one sector, in one niche. Once those numbers work consistently, then expansion becomes a decision instead of a gamble. Now we got to get our pitch down, which is where this thing all started here and why I wanted to start here.
Yes.
Is because I think we're missing what actually people with money want to pay for.
Yeah.
And I don't know, selfishly as a human race, we always feel that other people act because of the way we all are the same, right?
Yeah,
Everyone acts differently, which is why your data is important, right?
Right.
But most entrepreneurs, as you stated in the beginning, they're not going to these chambers.
Right.
And that's okay because they're going to help fund it for the vision that you set in place because they believe in the vision and where you're headed. And if you can help save one life and keep one guy on track, that's why they're paying.
Right. Because
these business owners, and the way I would even frame it, and if I was like pitching this, right, like the way I would frame it is because there's these young business guys, they're looking for knowledge, they're looking for help. And who do we want helping them?
Right.
Someone that's trying to embody Christ and is going to lead them in a certain direction. Like Jesus was the example of this. Like he met people where they were at and what they were physically looking to help with. He wasn't just walking around preaching.
500 years.
Yeah.
The world population really didn't go up very much, but the Christian population went from like a handful of people, right? Disciples and apostles, dozens of people to 10 million.
Very quickly.
And we were just talking about, and it wasn't just because Jesus was a great, orator. I mean, he was walking around performing miracles.
That's right.
And people were spreading the word.
Yeah.
I just thought that it's just interesting talking about all that. It's amazing how.
And I think that's your pitch.
All that sort of played out.
That's your message. And that's something people will get behind. And they'll might be, how can I get more money this? Because $500 is nothing.
Right. Well, yeah, we actually have that happen in our peer groups. People donate. They will pay more sometimes because they know there are folks in the group that are probably not paying the full rate
That's right.
because they just can't right now.
That's right. Our revenue goals become useful when you work backwards. Start with the number of customers you need. Apply a realistic close rate, then calculate how many conversations must happen each week and each day. Now your goal has an action attached to it. And even more than that, there's only 2 ways that we're going to do this. You're going to post, Facebook, LinkedIn, do your thing, right? I think you should comment. Now, and what I do is the next phase that I normally talk about here is your calendar, right? Is I book all this stuff in. So for me, I do the same thing. It's 30 minutes every day.
Oh, yeah.
At 8 a.m., I post my 6 posts.
Yep.
Then I have 15 minutes to go to engage. Then I have 15 minutes to, you know what I mean? And so you can knock this stuff out in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Way less than an hour. And then the rest of your day should be this, just connecting, calling. And this is why I think, especially in the beginning, 10 is a low number. Now, if they don't answer, you're following up with them the next day. What I do is I'll write someone, like I'll text Tara, and then I'll put follow up, in 5 days. Now, she may respond to me, and then we book a meeting, but I know that, so now if she doesn't respond to me, I'm not going back like, did she respond? No, I just, as soon as I text her, I put follow up in 5 days so that if she doesn't, it automatically triggers me to follow up. Does that make sense? I have a little a conditional formatting here.
Yeah.
And I make it red if date is before today.
Yeah.
I make it green if today.
Right.
Just because I'm a visual person and I want to. And then like every day I walk in, I filter this entire document and I hit that filter so that it goes, this is like yesterday that I missed, today, and then everything else. Why? Because each one of these, you're going to eventually have 600, and they're all going to be, one's going to be a follow-up next month, next year.
Well, and that's why I'm saying, I mean, this is simple to do on just a spreadsheet, but when you start getting hundreds.
I have one right now with 1,000 people. It's so easy on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's so easy on the spreadsheet. So just keep it as simple as possible.
Okay.
For now, we'll add it to the CRM.
All right, that's cool.
But if you and I hire a sales team, cool. Let's send them on a CRM because we collect more data.
Right,
but as entrepreneurs, we got to move fast, and we just got to go. And because we're a one-man show, we have it all kind of somewhat in our head. You may need help getting started with.
Well, I've done all this on a spreadsheet many times.
Yeah.
So
now, once we can prove that model, here's the cool thing. Because once you start getting, if they're paying full, like $500 or so, right? 10 paid in full, 10,000, you can maybe think about hiring someone, an intern to do sales.
Sure.
Now it changes the game a little bit more.
Right.
200 members, it's $118,000 a year in revenue.
Right.
You can go hire someone for $40,000. This is all they do.
Right.
I want you at every chamber, at every association, at everything, and you're driving them to join forces with ours. And we can go whole strategy there.
Yeah.
I think when I'm scaling the business, when I'm in this zone of like 0 to 200, the thing that's helped me the most is just what are the three things I need to do. And like, I don't do anything but the 3 things because I know that if I juice through these 3 things stupid well, it's going to be impossible. One thing about this event, I as you're thinking about this, right? You may want to put it, the one thing I don't like about not charging is because then sometimes people don't show up.
Right.
And so we need to needs to be so the further you go away from the pole, the further you go away in terms of relation, the more likely they are to skip, the more things we need to do to make sure they get to the room, right? So just let's think about that as you get a little closer.
Could we even charge something but then donate all of it?
You can charge something and give it back to them.
Well, that's true.
But people don't care to pay. Like,
right.
I pay for lunch every day.
Right.
If that is the filter, hey, I'm not going to pay for my lunch, then they're not going to become a member anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So don't be afraid to charge the $25 because it's already being donated. You're a nonprofit.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
So I think a 25, and you can always do a little coupon for free and tell your buddies hey, just use this coupon to make it free if you want me to cover the lunch. And the team can maybe help you do this. I mean, we do it. It's just not normally part of what we do for you, but we can work it out.
Right.
If your outreach only happens when you find extra time, It will not happen consistently. Put prospecting, follow-up, and relationship building on the calendar. Make it a priority. Growth activities need to be an appointment, just like your client work does. Here's what I would like to do
We
with you,
need
though,
accountability.
is I would like to meet just every quarter or even maybe bi-monthly.
Sure.
And then because we'll start thinking through, okay, here's a problem, right? Like you should be. Like it's just a math equation, right?
Right.
Like
You should be at X at this point. Right. I'm gonna.
Yeah, and this right here, like
Right.
it should be, and then we could put gasoline to the fire, because if you can,
Right.
okay, JC, I charge $500 a member. Basically, all my overhead's paid for, So I charge $500 a member, and I close 10% of my leads.
You make a good point on the pricing thing. I mean, maybe it is literally don't have all these pricing. Just you charge $500 a month. You charge X amount a month.
I
you
wonder,
charge one rate.
Is it's like, hey, a member is $500, but if you want to be a silver, gold, diamond, a vision sponsor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I call them a kingdom sponsor, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Same thing, right?
And so this is $5,000 a year,
Yeah.
$2,500, and $1,000.
Right.
You're going to get a lot of your friends be like, yeah, I'll be a diamond sponsor.
Right.
100%, right? Like, and you can even tell them, like, there's no promises here, but I know who you are. You're a roofing company. There's not a ton of diamond sponsors. Like, I'm going to try to make that worth it to you personally.
Right.
Well, this 1,500 is worth 10 of those.
Right. Oh,
right?
yeah.
And that's where you start getting really quickly into, and I think like our first big milestone here is that we need to find a membership person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No question about that.
And so I actually think, I really believe this, that because I've done this, man. I've built good enough to expand,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've expanded, and like, there's no reason you can't have 1,000 members in Little Rock.
No,
if the model's right.
Right.
They're going to be begging you to go to the other communities.
Yeah.
The only thing that can hurt you is to be too spread out.
Right.
Because again, it's like fishing. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of fish in the pond that you're at. The problem is not the fish. The problem is either the bait or the fisherman.
Right.
And you're not going to fix it by just going to another lake, I don't think. And
Right.
so, all right, customers do not need a tour of everything you can provide. They don't need it. They need to understand the results they are buying. Lead with the outcome they care about most. Let the additional benefits support the offer instead of bearing it. But if we met every couple months, then we just dig into what are these numbers? Because if this number is a good ratio where it's like, JC, I am selling it for $500. And JC, every 10 people I talk to, I close one of them. And I'm like, well, that's $50.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, if we went and did Facebook ads and we got $50 a lead, we'd make money and we could speed this up more.
Right.
Or we could say, hey, what if we spent $5,000 on an event or did another event and we did that? Like, we could start thinking about the strategy to speed up the hot list.
Okay. Yeah.
Which gets really interesting to me.